Okay. Let's wait while everyone will be ready. Take a water. That's something.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome back to another edition of Level Up, which is Valencia Code's monthly technical meeting. We're normally the first Wednesday of every month. Unfortunately, that fell on the 1st of November, so everyone was out partying, and we had to shift it 1 week later. But look, yeah, we have an absolute treat for you today. Guys, we've got Dmitrii, who's come from Deutsche Telekom. He'll explain a little bit about their presence in Spain. I think they are hiring, is that right, as well? So maybe a little bit of
course.
of course, a little bit of the pitch there. But yeah, we're really interested in what he has to talk about on a technical level, which is microservices. I think I'm not going to say anything more. I'm going to hand over the stage to Dmitrii, who's going to tell us about contemporary methods in constructing microservice architecture.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Right now it's okay. Okay. My name is Dmitrii. Short form is the Dima. You can name it Dima. I'm from Deutsche Telekom. That's little advertisement. Yeah. What is this? Deutsche Telekom is a large telecommunication company. Yeah, and I guess you know that's about maybe about T-Mobile, maybe about T-Systems, maybe about the Deutsche Telekom. Yeah, we opened a new office in Valencia, and the good news, we have right now already 300 plus employers. Yeah, that's here in the Valencia. That's, you can see statistics, 3 languages, women, men, average. Yeah, that's it's in general. That's okay. Let's go discuss about microservices. But before it, I wanna ask you that who works with the microservices. That's in order to understand what I. Okay, good. Who is a developer? Okay, a lot. Okay, it's good. Who is a tester? No, we don't have. You? No, come on. Unit test is not like for the tester. Okay, let's discuss about microservices. But I started from the general information, but after that we'll go to some implementations in our company. Yeah, that's because I would like to share with you. That's probably it will be interesting. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I just remind you about the microservices. First of all, that's if we say about microservice, we have to remember about benefits. Yeah, it's for what we need to use this architecture pattern. It's more scalability, flexibility, blah blah blah. Yeah, but it's not interesting. That's more interesting about drawbacks. Yeah, that's when we use it, microservices, we have a lot of the problems. It's not surprise because remote calls are more expensive than local calls. That we know about it because we are trying to send some information via network. Yeah, and therefore we can get distributed monoliths. Yeah, that's we have some problem when we're trying to split some microservices per team. Yeah, that's a lot of the problem. That's what we added when we trying to use microservices, I guess. Yeah, and you know, that's when we trying to implement it, we have to remember about a lot of things. Also, misconceptions. That's if somebody to say you that the code will be cleaner. Of course, it's not. It depends on you. Yeah, that's how you will write it. Also, it's easy to create modules that solve a single task. That's of course it's not. That's of course it depends on the bounding context. It depends on a lot of things. It works faster than the monolith. It's not true. It's slower because we have network. Yeah, that's we remember about it. This is either the way that's to ensure automatic scaling. That's also not, because we have a lot of dependencies when we're trying to scale something. Some microservice, yeah, that's we have to remember about our databases. That's how we scale up these databases. Also about our pods. That's a short question. That's who works with the Kubernetes. That's good. It's nice. Characteristics is a general information that I guess you saw this one. Yeah, that's I'll not stop on this information. 12 factors. We have to remember about 12 factors for microservices. Because it's important, we have to implement all these things. Yeah, that's in order to it will work. About pattern, that's also you face the pattern and you know probably about it. Yeah, that's most of the difficult pattern. It's a decomposition, because it's when you start something, that's to develop something, to develop some microservices, you have to start from the decomposition. Yeah, that's and how you can do it. It's a big question. Yeah, that's because it depends on the business logic, how you can split it on the different bounded contexts, and so on and so forth. But there is anti-patterns. It's also interesting. Yeah. Somebody saw this article about anti-patterns? Nope. Yeah. Every time that's when we tell about microservices, usually we discuss about patterns, characteristics, and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's. But we forget about the anti-patterns. But it's very important to know about it, know about the mistakes. Yeah, because probably that's one of these anti-patterns, like a mega service. Yeah, that's what tell you that if you have mega service. It's when you have a lot of business logic in one microservice. Yeah, that's it shows you that you need to divide it. Yeah, that to the different microservices. Or yeah, that's you can have it's named like nanoservices. And when you're trying to split it on the little parts, yeah, and if you divided it wrong, that's you have a lot of connections between these microservices. Yeah, that's and it's leads to the problems with performance. Definitely, yeah, that's and probably with another problems with fault tolerance, for example. Yeah, because if you have a lot of connections for the one microservice, it means you probably this microservice will fault. Yeah, that's and after that your system will not work. Yeah, that's probably. It depends on you, of course. Retrying mechanism. Yeah, that's a circle breaker mechanism. We have to remember about it every time. That's when we're trying to implement it. Okay. That's planning. Let's start from when we discuss. Yeah, about microservice, we have to remember about planning. Yeah, that's and start from the planning. I like this phrase. The goal without a plan is a just wish. Yeah, it's important. Okay. When we tell about the planning, that's of course we have some SDLC, and we can use some agile frameworks, not agile frameworks, doesn't matter. That's every time when we're trying to do something, that's we have to have a plan before it. Yeah, it makes sense. And most of the important part in the planning, it's a system design. Yeah, and it's if you define it before it non-functional requirements, functional requirements, logic data model, only after that you can tell about system design, because before it you don't know that's what you have to design. Yeah, that's you don't know your bounding contexts. Yeah, that you don't know your business logic, how many microservices you will have about it. If we say about functional requirements, there is a lot of the methods. I will be quickly about it. Yeah, that's don't worry. Functional requirements. We have a lot of methods in order to define the functional requirements as a user store, use cases, and so on and so far. Also, we use diagrams for the functional requirements. We use some decomposition. We use the DDD, domain-driven design. Do you know what is a domain-driven design? Do you use it? Nope. Okay. And logic data model. That's what is this logic data model? That's there is physical model. Yeah, it's a certain model for a certain database, for example, for the Postgres or for the MongoDB. Yeah, that's but logic data model. We have entities, we have relationship between these entities, but we don't have some additional tables and something like that. Yeah, that's we can get this logic data model. Yeah, that's and put to some specific database. It's important to define it before design your microservices. Yeah, because without it, you don't know how you can split it and divide it. Domain-driven design (DDD) is a concept. Yeah, that's when you have domains, unique language. Yeah, that's and if you use it, you know what it is, and you can implement this DDD for your logic data model, and after that you can get microservices. How it's look like? Yeah, that's for example, that's there is okay, I can do it. There is different entities. You can imagine that it's your logic data model. You have some relationship between these entities. Yeah, and after that you try to make it to this circle. Yeah, that's how you can divide this logic to the different microservices. Every context, every bounding context equal new microservice. Okay, there is non-functional requirements. Yeah, that's it's important also to define before system design, because without it, for example, if you didn't define the performance, yeah, like a non-functional requirement, what is the performance? How many RPS you will have? Yeah, that's for your service or for the system in general, or availability. Yeah, that's you have to define it. Usually, I'll zoom up. Don't worry, don't worry. Usually, it's look like that's a big table. That's we do like that. Yeah, that's big table with a lot of descriptions and values for each of these option. Yeah, that's each of these attribute. For example, for the performance and so on and so far. It's I guess I'll share this presentation with you guys. That's and if you don't know how you can define it non-functional requirements, because usually I face this problem because when I am asking that some team that's okay, did you define some NFR? He said, yeah, and look me, please. Yeah, I mean, that show me, please. And usually it's look like, okay, it's just a text in the one sentence somewhere in Confluence. It's look like horrible. Yeah, that's. Therefore, please use it. Also, that's if you use an API first is a good way. That's because it helps you to understand how many endpoints you will have. Yeah, that's and also important for your bounding context. Yeah, and only after that, only when I accumulate that a lot of information. I know it's look like waterfall, but it's not like that. Yeah, right. You can do it in the parallel. Only after that, you have to tell about system design. And remember to consider a lot of things when you're trying to write some system design. Yeah, that's because do you use CDN? Do you use some cloud platform? Do you use CQRS, for example? Yeah, that's you have to answer on these questions. Yeah. Also, there is a little bit more about system design. Yeah, that's because a lot of things you have to consider. Yeah, and after that we can tell about that we finish with system design probably. Okay, before let's go to the architecture trends. Do you have some questions? Nope. It's hard, yeah? Okay, guys, let's go. That's more interesting part of my presentation. Architecture trends. I prepared some screens from the InfoQ from the 2018. Yeah, and we can have a look at innovations or architecture trends from the 2018. Yeah. As you can see, microservices in the 2018 had early majority. Yeah, that's not tell about the rest, of course. And in the 2018, we started only to tell about the blockchain, HTTP2, service mesh like STO. Yeah, the house engineering. Yeah, that's. Do you know what is house engineering? Probably you face it. Yeah, that's it's a like a concept. That's what was implemented in the network Netflix, as far as I remember. Yeah, and they tried to broke the system. Yeah, that's before the production, and probably that's on the production also. Yeah, that's. It's like a predictable that's for the some bugs inside, and they tried to find it. Okay. Also, we had reactive programming, functional programming, CQRS. Do you use CQRS? Use? Okay, it's good, but not a lot, I guess. Yeah, because it's a difficult pattern for implementation, but sometimes makes sense. Okay, let's go to 2019. In the 2019, we already also we have blockchain, blah blah blah, some STO, Envoy. It's also about the service mesh. We told about the HTTP3. And if you don't use right now HTTP3, that's I recommend to move to HTTP3 because it makes sense, it's usual, and you have a lot of reasons that to use it right now. Yeah. That's okay. That's the second column. That's it's the same that as the previous slide. That's we can go. That's and microservices is has late majority. Yeah, that's because it's not like a new feature. In 2020, we have micro front ends that mesh HTTP3. Also, yeah, that's we still try to implement it. Yeah, and we told about the serverless, and it's one of the popular thing right now. That's because we are trying to use a serverless for our microservices. We don't try to create some functionality from scratch and just reuse it in the AWS, for example. We use in AWS, and you can use a Lambda function, for example. That's instead of to create it from the scratch or some network things. Yeah, that's probably something like that. Or for example, for our credentials, we use secret manager. Yeah, that's from the AWS, and it's very useful because you don't need to roll out some kick log in your infrastructure. Instead of it, you use a ready service. Yeah, that's okay. What else? Also, that's for just for interesting that we in the 2020 we talk about low code, no code. Yeah, that's that it is about when you can make a program that's via drag and drop approach. But I know that a lot of developers don't like it, but maybe in the future we'll use it everywhere. Okay. For interesting also that's architects as a technical leader. Yeah, that's also interesting approach where we started to tell about architect's role. Yeah, architect role, because usually it's a man or woman who sits somewhere. Yeah, that gives you some rules, some tasks, and you cannot ask him about anything. You cannot discuss with him. Yeah, that's and it's a real problem. Yeah, that's and architecture as a technical leader, it's more about that when we invite that architect to the team. Yeah, that's it's the person that who participate in the all meetings together with the team. Yeah, and trying to help and work together. Okay, 2021. We started to tell about open application model. Do you know what it is? Okay. Open application model, it's tools, several tools that you can, if you Google it for like open application model, you will find these tools. But in general, there is a problem when you have a lot of platforms. For example, you have AWS and also you have a cloud. Google Cloud, I mean. How you do this switching between these platforms, and probably you can have some of the problems with configurations when you're trying to switch it. Yeah, that's open application model that helps you to solve this problem because there is some declarative language in order to describe all of them. That's infrastructure things. Yeah, that's to help you just for the one button that's push, and after that you have the same infrastructure in a new platform. It's about it. Of course, if we tell about open application model, also there is some infrastructure as a code. Yeah, that's it's a little bit different things. Yeah, that's because that's infrastructure as a code will be earlier than this new than open application model. But right now, that's what about ours? That we don't use this open application model because we use a Pulumi. That's there is Pulumi, there is Terraform. Yeah, that's Terraform is more declarative. Yeah, that's Pulumi is you can use different languages for the Pulumi, like you can use TypeScript, for example, or you can use Golang, Python. Yeah, that's as you wish. Yeah, and you can describe that all your infrastructure using this infrastructure as a code approach, and after that. Of course, you can roll out it in any platform because it will be a little bit the same. Yeah, maybe that's of course if you switch between different cloud platforms like a Google Cloud Platform or like AWS. Of course, you can have some problems in the migration because some services what you're using in the AWS you don't have in the Google Cloud, like for example, Secret Manager, of course. Yeah, that you cannot switch it like easier. Yeah, and right now, for example, right now we have this problem. That's because right now we're using AWS, but for some projects we wanna switch to the Google Cloud Platform. Yeah, and we faced this problem. And we're trying to solve it. Just rewrite some functions in our Pulumi code. Yeah, and it helped us to move it to a new platform. Okay. Also, there is policy as a code. It's also useful. That you will see later. That's what it is. That's I'll try to share with you. But in general, a lot of things started to name like as a code. Policy as a code, infrastructure as a code. Yeah, that's okay. 2022. What's interesting here? Micro frontends, I said about it, but in general that's not something new. I mean that's some important. And 2023. Okay. Large language models. It's about ChatGPT and about these things. Do you use it? ChatGPT for coding? No, not for coding. For validation of your code, yeah? Okay. Yeah, that's something that's useful. Yeah, that's true. And for the presentation, it's also useful, yeah, guys. Yeah. Okay. What else? GraphQL Federation. That's I don't remember really. That's what it is, but in general, do you use a GraphQL? It's just for interesting. It's my survive. I use it. Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, it's interesting because we tried it, but it doesn't work for us, unfortunately. Okay, as I said, everything is a code. There is this definition. Yeah, there is infrastructure as a code, there is configuration as a code, pipeline as a code, policy as a code, security as a code, documentation as a code, database as a code. Crazy, yeah? That's it's in general it's useful, of course, yeah, because you can move this configuration between different places. Yeah, that's your DevOps engineers can choose some specific language that they know about it. Yeah, and in general it's helpful for us to work with a lot of microservices because we really have a lot of them. Yeah, that's because for example in one of the project, just for example, yeah, that's we have probably 500 at microservices. Yeah, and it's really a lot. And you can imagine what happened if we don't use it, for example, infrastructure as a code. It will be horrible, yeah, for us, or the policy as a code. Yeah, that's because it's helpful for us. That's to make some policy for some specific namespaces in the Kubernetes. Yeah, that's in general. That's there is three approaches how you can organize your microservices, your teams in the Kubernetes. In the Kubernetes, yeah, that's in the platforms. First, you can put it into the namespace, and different namespace will be for the different microservices or for different teams. That's the second one. It is you can create different clusters. If you care about that, one team can broke something that's for another. Yeah, that's you can create different clusters, but it can be problem for the communication between these clusters. Yeah, that's and third approach, it's a virtual cluster. Did you hear about it? Virtual cluster, probably? No. It's like a cluster, but it's a Kubernetes inside a Kubernetes. I'll show you that later. That's there is a tool for it, but there is. Okay, let's go. Serverless architecture, as I said, that's we use it a lot of things. Yeah, like MSK, for example. It's very useful. Yeah, that's but only that's you know that's when you use MSK for us. Okay, that's first of all that's I want to ask you that's do you use AWS? Who uses the AWS? Okay, it's a lot of people. In the AWS, that's when you use MSK. That's my recommendation, just my recommendation for you. Better for the connecting to the some databases, RDS, or for the connection to the MSK or something like that, for connection to the secret manager, you better to use EAM roles. That's who use the AWS know about it. What is this EAM role? You can define it EAM role for the team, for example, and this team can work with this one role instead of to store a lot of credentials for a lot of things for the connection to database, to MSK, and so on and so forth. Yeah. If you don't know that's what is MSK, MSK is Kafka. Yeah, it's a Kafka. Yeah. Also, we use DynamoDB, Lambda is 3 buckets. Yeah, that's a lot of things. Zero Trust architecture. What is this Zero Trust? It's a new thing we implemented recently. Yeah, that's and I want to share with you that's in general what is this idea? Idea that everywhere that we don't trust for everywhere. That's when we're trying to ask somewhere. Some another service and something like that. Yeah, that's some database. And we're trying to implement checking the policy via sidecar. Do you know what is a sidecar? Okay, you can imagine that, but in general, you know what is this Docker container, yeah, right? You can imagine that in the one pod, you can create 2 Docker containers, yeah? And first container, its name will be named like a sidecar, and it will interrupt your all requests, yeah, that for this microservice, make a validation for the policy, and if it is successful, that's forward to the microservice, to the next container, yeah, that's if something wrong, yeah, that's to gives you 4 or 1, yeah, forbidden answer, for example. And it's and in general, that's this sidecar, this container, this additional container, should know about the policies. Yeah, of course, in order to validate it. Yeah, that's. And usually, we use open policy agent in order to validate it. There is some specific language in the open policy agent. It's a name like a Rego language. Yeah, when you can describe all these policies, all these, I don't know, permissions, who can use it, who cannot use it. For example, you can check that you can get some token, yeah, that's from the header. Parse this token, get from this token some ID for some specific user or for the role. Yeah, that's, and after that, using this open policy agent, you can check it. Yeah, that's, and this one, that's put it to the container, to additional container, and this container is named like a sidecar. Also, there is Envoy sidecars. That's Envoy, like a technology, additional technology for sidecars. But because we have, you know, some specific logic in this sidecar, in order to get some additional information from another microservice, we cannot use Envoy. That's because Envoy is a declarative language. Yeah, that's, and you cannot add some additional functionality to this language. Yeah, that's it's horrible. Therefore, we just created a container. Yeah, that's we just we created container based on Golang because we wanna get velocity. Yeah, that's for the sidecar because it doesn't make sense to use that Java for the sidecar because you'll spend a lot of memory, CPU, yeah, that's and so on far. But for you, it's important. It should be lightweight. Yeah, that's it's very important and faster. Okay. Policy agent. We use Kyverna for the policy agent. Okay. What is this issue or problem or the goal? You can imagine you have a lot of teams, and you cannot manage every day for 20 hours every team. Yeah, that's and they can put some crazy value for the CPU or for the memory. Yeah, that's they can't do it. In general, for example, they can set up for the container, for the pod, I don't know, 100 gigabytes for the memory, and in general, if you don't validate it manually, that you cannot find it, and AWS roll out its pod with a minimum of the 100 memory. Yeah, that's for you. Of course, there is restrictions in the AWS, but in general, will be great to check these things like a CPU, like a memory, yeah, for example, for your microservices, and it should be automatically. Yeah, it will be great because you don't need to check every time that and go to the code, yeah, that's or monitor it in the Grafana. Yeah, that's and the Kyverna is a tool that helps you, yeah, to validate it. And if you have some issues, yeah, that's or if you forbid it, yeah, that's you can just stop this deployment process. Okay, after scaling. We use a CADA for the after scaling. It's a great tool. Yeah, in general. A lot of configurations inside. But it's a great tool that will help you. That's again, yeah, what is the problem? Will be great to have some of the tool that help for us make after scaling. Because if we have some peaks that for our load, so yeah, that's it's not convenient when we do it manually and restart the pod every time. Yeah, that's and will be great to do it automatically based on some metrics. CADA connect to the Prometheus. Yeah, that's we of course we use a Prometheus and a Grafana. Yeah, that's Prometheus grabbed all these metrics about all these microservices. Yeah, that's and the CADA monitor these metrics, and if happens something wrong with your microservice, if you scale up some memory, CADA gives you more memory, but of course you can configure with some limits and so on so far, but in general it's useful. Okay. FinOps. There is kubectl, AWS, because we use AWS, I tell about AWS Cost Explorer or MongoDB billing. Yeah, that's these tools help you to calculate the price that's for all your infrastructure. It's also important because if you have really a lot of microservices, pods, databases, you have to predict it, you have to calculate your cost, and there is tools what help to you. That's, for example, kubectl. Kubectl, it's an additional plugin for the Grafana. Yeah, that's and very useful to add to the Grafana. That you can see all this monitor stuff that's in the Grafana also, and kube cost. I mean the costs for your microservices.
I have a question.
Yep, of
Do
course.
you guys use any tools not only to measure what is going to cost, but where you are wasting money? Like you scale, like you
No, you don't scale.
too big, and it's like it should go like. Hey,
Yeah. That's
usage here.
yeah. If of course there is alerts. Yeah, that's in this plugin. Yeah, that's if happens something wrong. That's and we get some alert. That's or we just analyze our resources and the costs for these resources every month. For example, yeah, that's we have operation department which trying to monitor it. Yeah, and if we see something wrong, that's what we not expected. Yeah, that's of course we start to figure out with it what happened, because probably we have some old legacy. I mean that's legacy resource, or probably we use a lot of memory, and maybe we have a memory leak. Yeah, that's because we have a CADA. Yeah, that's and after scaling process, and sometimes that we can configure it. That's okay. That's scale up to the 10 gigabytes in the under load. Yeah, that's if we trying to, for example, that's in our cases it was if we're trying to sell some tickets for the Beyonce. Yeah, that's like that. Yeah, that's a lot of requests we have. Yeah, and in this case, of course, we have to analyze it. For example, CADA sometimes works wrong. Sometimes the CADA scale up your resources, but don't do scale down. And on the long process, on the long time, you use a lot of resources because you had some the peak. Yeah, that's before it. And if you don't analyze it, of course, it's horrible in general for the company. Yeah, that's for your resources. Yeah, I answered on your question. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Backstage. When I showed you the slide with the patterns and anti-patterns, there is pattern. Forget like a skeleton or like name like that. Yeah, that's what it means. That's if you have a lot of microservices and you're trying to and every day that you can create a new microservices, of course. And if you do it like a copy paste with all configurations, yeah, that's for the Helm, for example, or all configuration for some specific language. It will be a problem for improvement, for enhance some things, or for upgrading. Yeah, that's and there is some skillet or skeleton. Yeah, that's some skillet for your project, for your microservice. That's for example it's like a template. Yeah, that's for your microservice based on a Java, based on a Golang. Yeah, that's and periodically you need to upgrade it. Yeah, and you can use Backstage tool in order to prepare this. Of course, this Backstage tool is very powerful tool in general, but we use it for our templates. Yeah, that's we prepare some templates for our developers. With some specific technologies, with specific version for the libraries, for the frameworks. Yeah, that's and when they wanted to create some new service, yeah, that's they can use this Backstage template in order to create automatically this new service with all configuration in a new GitLab repository, for example.
Isn't that what Helm does?
Not Helm for the infrastructure. That's I tell about. Yeah, No. You're right. I mean that's in these templates we have a Helm configurations. Yeah, and some configuration for some specific language, of course. Yeah, but in general, it's more useful for the Helm. You're right, totally right, because sometimes that's for the Java, for example, there is Spring Initializer tool. Yeah, that's what helped to generate a new project with the latest some versions for the frameworks. Yeah, of course, but the Helm configuration is a specific configuration for each of this company. Yeah, that's because we use some specific infrastructure tool. Okay, there is. I promised to tell about it. There is vCluster. Yeah, that's it's when you have Kubernetes in a Kubernetes. Yeah, that's and for what? That's it's only for the resource consumption only. That's I can explain it like that. Yeah, that's because sometimes it makes sense to use some separate cluster per team. Yeah, that's if we care about that some security or yeah, that's for example. But if you use a real separate cluster, that's it's real expensive for you. Yeah, and there is vCluster. That's what helped you to create virtual cluster. We moved. Question? No. We moved from the EFK stack, Elasticsearch, Fluentd or Fluentd, Kibana, yeah, to the Grafana Loki. For us, it makes sense because it's more easier in terms of that we have monitoring and logging in the one place, and Elastic is very expensive tool. Database. Yeah, that's and when you're trying to use Elasticsearch, you spend a lot of memory for the Elasticsearch. Yeah, that's and sometimes it works wrong. Therefore, it's just for your information. That's there is Grafana Loki. Try if you want. Pulumi, yeah, that's we choose the Pulumi. I told about it, that's if we compare that's Terraform, Pulumi, it's difficult to say that what's better. But for us, it was important that we can use a language. Yeah, that's in order to describe something. Sometimes it's flexible if you want to customize something. Yeah, it's good. And what next? From this list of that's probably more interesting the latest options like AI-driven service monitoring and anomaly detection. Yeah, that's probably in the future we'll have it. That's I cannot give you that some specific tool right now. But I know that there is some development in this way. More integration with serverless paradigm. Yeah, that's more serverless. It will be more and more because it's makes sense in terms of the resource consumption. Yeah, that's you don't need to maintain also. Yeah, some specific service if you use it. AI-driven development. It's probably it's about like ChatGPT. That's you put it into your code to the ChatGPT. It's look like AI-driven development. Yeah, predictive analytics in infrastructure management. It's clear that and AI role in optimized server workloads and disruption. Yeah, that's. What's the next? I can say that's probably the next steps. It will be that's implementation in the way to the AI. Yeah, that's I hope. And short form our technology stack. Yeah, that's yeah. Of course, it's not all, not at all. I mean, That's all. Thank you for your attention.
I thought you said you no longer use Elasticsearch.
In some projects, we still use it. Yeah, but we're trying to move to the Grafana Looker. It's a graphic. Well, I mean, that's this stack. It's like in general. That's what we have. That's of course we have a lot of. Yep.
Thank you, Dmitrii. We now have time for 3 more questions. So, okay, there is a hand here. You go first. You go half raised and the other guy raised it fully. So fully raised hands.
It's mostly about first part of presentations. So first of all, thank you.
Welcome.
Great how much you can put in one presentation.
I tried.
Great. So first one is about how you're a solution architect, right?
Not social, system architect.
System architect.
Yeah.
From your experience, process of controlling how developers implement your decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas, any best practice?
Yep.
For example, keeping function, meetings, or so on.
I can say only one thing. That's architecture review. It's one that's what helped to you to moderate and monitor it's for the implementation, because of course in general that's as an architecture you have to work together with a team, not like that I design something, yeah, gives you that, and we don't discuss it, yeah, that's, or we discuss it one time, you know, like finally, yeah. Of course not. Usually we start work with a team in the beginning, yeah, that's when we start to gather information about the business logic, yeah, that's and also trying to analyze our entities and relationships like a logic data model. We work together. That's we have common meetings, yeah, that's, and it's not like only one can tell on this meeting. Of course, everywhere can gives me some new ideas, or if they have some concerns, of course, share with me. That it's only like that, yeah, that's, and how you can check it at, only we use a safe, if you know what it is. It's agile framework. It's named like a safe, yeah, and in a safe there is a product increment planning. It's named like a PIP, yeah, that's, and in the 1 time per month, or like 2 times per month, that's, it depends on our decision, yeah, that's we do these meetings for the all teams, together with the architects, together with the product owners and management, yeah, that's in order to make in order to be in the one page, yeah, it's like that. Yeah, but how you can check it, architecture review, there's pattern that's for the management. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, very cool. Thank you. Very inspiring as well.
Thank
My question is that first, all this infrastructure is most for like T-Mobile customers, or is it global? Is it for internal too? If you can kind of elaborate on that, I was very curious for that. My second question is that how you guys deal? I work with security, cybersecurity side. How you deal with the security to protect this? Is like a different DevSec teams, or is it someone in beta to your team? What practices you can share with us?
The very first question, what was it? I forget for after a second.
All these infrastructure, like what you guys do, is for like T-Mobile internal too?
No. It's we are as a Deutsche Telekom, we develop applications for the internal. For our customer, it's B2C. Yeah, that's and of course we have a lot of customers in the world, and we work for. So of course there is T systems what work with the external customers. Yeah, we don't work with external customers. Yeah, and about security.
Be safe. How you protect all this?
Uh,
Hard.
that's what do you mean? That's safe.
Like I would say, how do you keep this safe? Do you have a separate team? Like I said, do you have a sec dev team? So someone at your team make sure that kind of, let's say, the security practices and the pen testing, all this. I was just curious. I'm not sure how much you can share.
Yeah, we have a separate team and security department. That's and we have in the process. Oh, I forget how this abbreviation that was, but we have a step where we need to present our infrastructure and microservices for the security guys. Yeah, that's before the production, of course. Yeah, that's and. Of course, there is different tools for the security. Security as a code, as I said. Yeah, that's in general. That's we use a lot of things like for a developer, for our as a system architects. We in general we don't care that's from the about the network security, yeah, that's all like that, because there is separate department that's what configure it. But we care about our credentials, our connections to the databases. We use it for it, as I said, secret manager, AWS secret manager, for example, and if you use a AWS secret manager, there is that's just for your information. There is external secret library that's what help to you automatically grabbed updates of the security to the container directly. Yeah, it's a great tool. That's if you don't use it, just have a look at it. Yeah, that's external secret name, this tool. Yeah, and also we use a kick log. That's in order to create our tokens, GWT token. Yeah, that's and it's like that. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
Also, one more question. Yeah.
For the individual developer, it can be difficult to work with all of these microservices and technologies on their laptop. So, are you guys looking at cloud development environments, or
Yeah, we
how
have.
quick is it for a new guy to start working
Mm-hmm.
with the first laptop?
Of course, you know that if you wanna try to implement on your laptop all this infrastructure, it will not be like a good idea. But of course, we have separate environments. We have a dev environment, a stable environment, UAT environment. Yeah, that's and we have a process where we can check something. Yeah, that's of course all the developers in the onboarding time that can create something that's in the dev environment. Yeah, that's in order to check it, in order to try it. Yeah, that's for studying, for example. Yeah. It's no problem. But of course, we also recommend to use some Docker Compose if you have some small tools and you can check it. For example, that's you have a Redis and some service that's which uses Redis. And sometime that's when you start to develop this microservice. Of course, and you wanna just try. It doesn't make sense to roll out in the environment. Yeah, that connected. You spend a lot of time. Yeah, that's better to just start it on the local machine using some Docker Compose. Yeah, it will be easier. But if we already implemented it, yeah, that's of course we have to use dev environment. Yeah, for it. Yeah, that's test environment, for example, for end-to-end tests we use.
But the question was more about like cloud dev environments where you just connect and there's like, let's say VS Code and it already has all the plugins and secret pipelines and all the stuff is there.
Mm-hmm. We have a long process for the onboarding. Yeah.
So you don't use
Yeah.
environments. Sure.
Yeah, that's because as usual, that sometimes that developers don't know that about the AWS. Sometimes that's they don't know about Helm. Yeah, and you need to spend a time in order to learn it. Yeah, and to explain that's how they use a Helm for what. Yeah, because sometimes we faced the developers or DevOps who worked before only with a virtual machine. You know that they don't know that's about the Kubernetes, what it is. It's a magic. Yeah, that's like this. We have a long process for the onboarding, really. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Dmitrii. Thank you, Nico from Commerce Tools, who is supporting this event. And yeah, this brings to a close our edition of Valencia Codes. We will be back next month. We will probably do a social event as well, so please stay tuned with our meetup page and Telegram account. And we will be going for beers. If you want to join, please stay. But otherwise, yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.